of this day and the privilege to live in this great county and this great state and this great country. And Lord, we pause right at the beginning of this meeting today to invite your presence and your spirit to preside over it. We may have an agenda. We may have our own personal thoughts and plans about the direction this county should go. All of us are here because we love this county and we have a desire that it prospers. But we know too that unless you preside over the actions we take today and our will, that we may be having a futile attempt. We need your presence here. We need you to speak to these commissioners and the judge so that decisions they make will benefit the county and all the citizens will benefit from it and this county will prosper. And we place it all in your hands today. Rich, in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledges. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. All right, let's have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Casterline,
Here.
Commissioner Russo. Here. Commissioner Dupnick.
Here.
Judge Garza.
Here. We've got 4 out of 5. We've got a quorum. At this time, we got citizens to be heard. I have one, Mr. Roof, but you want to talk during the agenda item, right? Okay. We'll wait till item number 14 for that. We'll move on to presentations and proclamations. Item number 1, we got a presentation for Wings Over Rockport, Ms. Katrina Brown.
Do I need to move this?
Nope, that you
This is
in there.
what-
Yes, ma'am, please.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. My name is Katrina Brown, and I'm here today to represent Wings Over Rockport. This is more of an introduction rather than a presentation, because I am here to introduce our organization to you. With me today, I have 2 of our board members, David Kinley and Catherine Sims, and 2 of my greatest supporters, if you will, Mike Gear, the president or the airport director, which I know you all know, and my husband, Jerry, who is the chairman of the advisory board. So again, I'm president of the Wings Over Rockport. This is a brand new 501c3 that we have formed. And what we're doing is exploring opportunities to have a major air show here, an aerial event, if you will, in 2025. What we are planning, again, what we are hoping to do, we are just starting in the planning stages to have a gated event. Again, this is an air show, and this would be to create and ultimately the net proceeds of the air show would go to create and fund a scholarship program for aerospace scholarship program for local students. Could be at the high school, at the high school or vocational school or the collegiate level, depending on what their interests are. Why I'm specifically here today, again, to introduce myself, but we are going to start embarking on an aggressive fundraising and sponsorship program. So we didn't want you to be blindsided if you were to hear that, gee, there are people out there trying to raise funds for an air show and you don't know anything about it. Now, we're not here yet to ask for permission for a specific date. We have a very aggressive fundraising goal. And until we meet that goal, we can't begin to set a specific date. But we are thinking about fall of next year. Okay, that's what we're striving for, is fall of next year. But we are going to start our fundraising right away. And and we are planning on using airport facilities for some of that fundraising, which we understand we will need your permission for. So when we have those plans in place, we'll come back to you and ask for permission so that we can move forward. But that's what our plan looks like. That's kind of what our overall goal is. Do I have any questions?
No, but I got, thank you for
Really?
the heads
Did I
up.
cover it all?
Thank you for the heads up.
Well,
Yeah.
again, this is an introduction and you will be hearing more from us. But I just wanted to make sure that you did know that we were out there. So you didn't hear things on the street that you were questioning and wondering about.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thanks. All right, item number 2, we got a presentation by McKinstry regarding strategic facilities planning. Ms. Gabriela Fierro.
Good morning, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Perfect. So thank you in advance for your time and attention to everyone here. So I'll briefly introduce myself first before I go into the agenda items specifically. But before I introduce myself, just want to emphasize this is an information item. And so I'm going to walk through a methodology and a process and kind of how different counties around the state have taken advantage of that process briefly after. I do have some documents here for you all afterwards in case you want to read more on strategic facilities planning and design build specifically. But like I said, my name is Gabriela Fierro. I grew up coming to this area, to Refugio, and here to this beautiful area that a lot of people like to flock to and enjoy all the recreation activities. But I started out in the public sector working with the city of Waco. And so what I was tasked with focusing on was water quality, understanding how to be good stewards of that resource, and also measuring taxpayers' willingness to pay for different improvements. Those included things like a wastewater plan or wetlands, what the community felt that they wanted to use their taxpayer dollars towards. And then after that, I wandered into the kind of K-12 sector. So I supported school districts in rural areas across the state, understanding their specific needs, their specific community, and how they were doing what they could with the budgets that they had. And then going back to our state capital to advocate for them to get more funding for nutrition and different school programs to improve their education, and then that pipeline into higher education. And then after then, started working again with rural spaces, but in the Caribbean. So what that involved was microgrid development and understanding how to kind of island and become more resilient with their energy system, understanding how to scale that energy system to be able to support medical devices and also different education efforts that require internet, they require computer, phones, and things like that, that also all require energy. And so that took a lot of understanding how different weather and climate occurrences affect the area, how to prepare, how to harden assets for when a hurricane inevitably comes or other disasters. And so finally, now I am with McKinstry. And so we are a design build firm that tackles public entity facilities in a different way, I think, that I've seen during my time working in the state. What we look into is how to fund a lot of efforts and projects and needs that a lot of rural counties can't. We collaborate with your current grant writers. We have a federal team that tracks the stimulus, that tracks different funding efforts through a variety of departments, including the Department of Energy, the Department of Transportation, and many others. But what we mainly do is that we help you plan ahead and execute projects successfully. So we have an engineering team, we have a construction team, we have architects in-house, and a robust team that specifically focuses on county facilities and county buildings and needs. So that's included, for example, over in Frio County. What we did there was during their budget season, we looked at a lot of their priorities, what was in the red, what was in the yellow, what's in the green, and help them find a way to fund and execute those projects over time so that they weren't reacting to what they were facing every day, but planning proactively. And so the way that they did that was through design build. That's a term that a lot of people don't understand what goes into that and how it differs from the traditional process that a lot of counties and cities go through. So it differs from your traditional design bid build process. It does not mean that there is not a competitive effort for the county to receive, different people's submittals to something like a request for qualifications. It is usually accomplished through a design build RFQ. But what design build means is that typically you have engineers, construction teams, and architects that are all separate entities that the county deals with. And so what happens is that you have various chains of communication between those different parties. And so what happens is timelines tend to be a little bit longer. There is a research paper on how much shorter the design build process makes projects. But all of those different parties that you typically communicate and that the county is liable for kind of managing all get integrated under a design builder. And so that design builder is able to use their engineering team, but also use local entities that you like working with. So let's say Aransas County, you have an engineer that you really like working with that does structural, that does electrical. Our goal is to keep funds locally to invest in the local economy. And so what happens is that we can work with that specific vendor that you enjoy working with, but the liability goes under McKinstry. And so we are responsible for making sure that that project delivers on its promises in a timely fashion. I know a lot of counties go through change orders and the rocky road of understanding construction and projects when that may not be your specialty. And so we're basically your eye and your ears and your advocate, working to make sure that projects get done successfully. And so there's a variety of counties that have done this. I know Medina County has done this as well, Frio, City of Frisco, and many others. So we've worked with Henderson, Hill, and Ellis County as well. So this is just a crash course on that different methodology and for you all to know that that is a resource available to the county. And so with that, I will end this presentation and hand you these so that you can read afterwards.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds interesting.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gabrielle. All right, we're going to move on to item number 3. Proclamation P3 2024, recognizing March 16th through the 23rd, 2024 as Aransas Nature Fest Week. Ms. Griffith, good morning.
Yes. Morning. I just wanted to read the proclamation. And I'm representing at this time the Board of Directors of Aransas First Land Trust. So whereas Nature Fest is an event that celebrates the tremendous benefits we find in our natural environment. Nature Fest is an opportunity to appreciate, promote, and explore the tangible and intangible value that nature brings to our community and to educate our citizens of the benefits of nature through information, programs, and visual and physical experiences. And whereas nature provides us with essential benefits such as clean air, water, food, medicine, recreation, and inspiration, and nature also supports our physical, mental, and emotional health and well-being. And nature fosters a sense of wonder, awe, and curiosity, and enriches our culture, art, and spirituality. And whereas it is our collective responsibility and opportunity to protect, restore, and celebrate nature and its gifts to humanity. And now therefore, the Commissioners Court do hereby proclaim the week of March 16th through 23rd, 2024 as Nature Fest. And we urge all citizens and visitors to celebrate, learn, explore, and participate in many of the activities available with our natural environment. Thank you. Do you have any questions about it?
Nope. Thank you. Do we have to vote on this? It's a proclamation,
Looks like it actually should have been in a different part of the agenda.
right?
Like normally you vote on proclamation.
I do believe it needs a vote.
I'll take a motion
I'll
to,
move to approve the proclamation.
I'll second that.
got a motion, got a second. Oh.
Debbie, is there a list of the activities that the proclamation refers to that'll be in the paper or on the Yes. website or? I'm not exactly sure about it being in the paper. I hope that it will be. I hope so too. But it is on the Aransas First Land Trust Facebook page, the website. It's going to go on social media as well, locally. And there will be some physical documentation that will be delivered in various places. There's going to be 14 different events at 5 locations. And that, for instance, is like the Bento Rookery, which is where one of the kind of kickoff events is on Saturday, the 16th. And there will be a number of activities and educational opportunities for adults and children. And then just some other would be like Wings Rescue, the Rockport Center for the Arts, Aransas Woods, which is a fantastic place off of 35 for hiking and exploring nature. And so there is a list of those, but there will be, there is 15 actual sites listed, everything from even the Rockport Cemetery, which is known for its, it's interesting and its wildflowers. And there will be a list, and what I can do, excuse me, is make sure that the judge and the commissioners all receive their own copy of that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cheney, Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Passes. Before we move on to the consent agenda, I do want to strike item number 18, which was an agreement with Real. I'm going to strike that from the agenda. Sorry, I should have did that at the beginning. All right, I'll move on to the consent agenda. I have a motion.
We approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Oh, there you are. Would you like to read the donations, Ms. Caitlin?
Good morning, everyone. Woodrow Wilson Owens in the amount of $200 donated to the animal shelter. An anonymous donation of 3 bags of dog food, a dog crate, small carrier in the estimate amount of $275. And an Ernest Salati for 10 big bags of dog treats in the estimate amount of $50.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you. Any other questions? Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. We'll move on to item number 8.
I move to approve resolution R 07-2024. A resolution to select BLS Construction to provide construction services for the transfer station's mechanic shop. Authorizing the county judge to execute necessary documents, providing for severance, and confirming compliance with the Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Ms. L.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
We had our project go out for bid and BLS was our winning bidder. And so we would like to move forward with them. And this is just our resolution. Any questions?
Any questions? All right. And you've reviewed the plans and, okay, great.
Yes, William is here. We will have no problems. William is right over here. Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
thank you.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 9.
I move to approve resolution number R-08-2024. A resolution to submit an application for it states of 2025, but it should be for year 2024. State and local cybersecurity grant program.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second, and just to be clear, it's for 2024. Wait, 2025. Oh, fiscal year 2024. Okay.
And I have a question. Are you handling this or Colin? Oh,
Mr. I didn't get your
can you
name.
come forward and
Yes.
identify yourself?
Hi, good morning, Commissioners and Judge. My name is Ruben Martinez. I'm here on behalf of Lone Star Strategy Group. And so we are going to be taking care of this, and it is supposed to be FY24. We did make a mistake.
So my question is, and thank you. What is the anticipated cost of this project and what are the parameters of this project?
So this is going to be differing. You all might have some coverage through TAC, but we are going to be applying specifically for a grant for about $49,000. This is going to be with a local veteran-owned company that we will be looking at taking advantage of. However, it does require a 25% match, and so of course it'll be of the 49,000. And so in addition to that, what we will also be looking at is if it will, we're still looking at this, but if it will bring down the insurance cost because of the additional coverage that we'll have through this grant.
So our match will be a little more than $12,000.
You want to weigh in, Colin? I know during last budget season, when we were talking, it might have been in my office, but cybersecurity was big. I know last year when I started training and was talking to other county judges, one thing that always most other seasoned county judges were like, make sure your cybersecurity was top notch.
This is a very helpful grant, and some of the things it comes with as far as just being interested in it is we get some additional coverage from TAC that gives us for vulnerability scanning. They'll help us write and build policies and stuff to ensure that the security hardware vendors we acquire help us maintain a level of security without disrupting our normal flow of business. Because there is a such thing, and you've got to be able to strategize and mitigate your risk, but also you can't have it so secure that no one could do their job. And a lot of that is both policy and education, as well as tools that cost money through vendors and software and hardware layers of security. So this is one aspect that this county has really lacked on, is building a strong policy for security. And this being part of this grant can help us build those policies up, but also get some funding to apply new hardware and tactics and things across our infrastructure.
Any other questions?
Where's the 12,000 plus match coming from?
So as they said, part of this would be to help bring down some of our insurance costs for cybersecurity that is built into our policy. It's built into our TAC policy, is it not?
And I'm not aware of any anything that we would get any kind of refund or any kind of decrease. We did at one time have some cybersecurity on top of it. It did not change our premiums. It would have to come out of our general fund.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 10.
I move to approve a request from Axe Aviation to host a fly-in at the airport main terminal ramp on November 15th through November 17th, 2024.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning, Mr. Gear.
Good morning. This was presented to the Airport Advisory Board and it passed for me to bring it forward to the commissioners to ask for permission for Axe to use the main ramp and terminal for a fly-in in November of next year. And I'm sorry, this year. Yeah, and it's the insurance policy or the premium for liability would be on Axe. They would be the ones that were responsible for fundraising to cover that, as well as any other charges or any other fees that come up as a result of this. So typically what we do on a fly-in is provide the fuel, the FBO services that you might expect. It's just we have a busier ramp that day. So what I care more about than anything is public safety when we have events like this. And so Axe Aviation, the first dollars they raise go towards safety, and I appreciate that. They have a track record of hiring marshaling teams to be here on the day of, and they do a really good job of kind of sterilizing the ramp whenever you have planes taxiing in and out. They keep people and propellers apart, and that's what I care most about.
All right. Any questions? All right, let's vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Move to approve a request from Rockport Fulton Chamber of Commerce to use Aransas County Airport's Eugene Johnson Memorial Hangar during the 2024 Hummer Fest celebration for 4 days in September to stage the vendor mall.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second.
Okay, this was
Morning.
also brought to my attention and to the Airport Advisory Board's attention. They're in favor bringing it to the commissioners. Shelley and Alyssa came to see me and the reason they're asking to use the Gene hangars because there's nothing else available in Aransas County that would meet the needs for them to host a vendor mall. We've used the hangar in the past for vendor mall for fly-ins, and it's served that purpose very well. September is not a particularly cold or cool month, but I think with the doors open and some big fans, we can probably make it work. We've made it work in warmer months. The Airport Advisory Board recommended a fee of $1,000 for use of the hangar. I haven't gotten any blowback on that yet. So, okay, so that would be the recommended fee rate for the hangar.
So where have they had it before? And it meant the school?
At the school,
Yeah.
Not
the school,
available
and
now or?
because of the construction,
Correct.
it's not available this year.
And they don't have parking because of the construction.
Right.
Right.
The airport seems like an out of the way place for, that's my only, for that particular function.
Well, we've had the film festival out there twice. Luis is gone, but the film festival was held in 2018 and 19.
Mhm.
That was pretty successful. And again, it's kind of out of the way considering that most folks would associate with the Austin Street area.
Yeah.
But it was had a good turnout.
All right.
And I think that the chamber is very in favor of this proposal too. So I thought the same thing that, well, that's a little bit of a drive, but people actually drive around looking at the Hummer homes. So the vendors are okay and the chamber's okay.
I'm okay. Yep. All right, let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Before we go on to item number 12, I know Sheriff, you have something? I'm gonna go ahead and go skip around. I apologize, but I'm gonna go down to item number 12. I'm sorry, section number 12, and that's reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. I wanna, is the child here? Yeah, in the interest of the children, which is she gone? Is she here? Oh, okay. Shoot. Well, let's hear number 12 real quick then. Sorry.
Move to approve accepting a permanent 10-foot wide drainage easement from Mark Sidney Pruitt as depicted on the attached exhibit and authorize the county judge to execute necessary documents.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second. Mr. Reed.
This is a 10-foot eve. This on?
Mhm.
Okay, this is a 10-foot drainage easement along a existing drainage channel we're doing work on as part of the Ruby Allen project. The property owners offered us this 10-foot. It will help the drainage that we're trying to install a little more.
All right.
Is this 10-foot in addition to what's there or just 10-foot total?
10-foot in addition to what's there.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Now we'll move on to section 12, reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. I believe Sheriff has something.
Sheriff, could you please speak in the microphone for those that are at home?
Tell y'all, the Sacred Heart Catholic School has a fundraiser every year, and as part of that, this is my sheriff for the day, and she brought along her sister to be our deputy. So I get two for the price of one this year. This is Kate and her sister Collins. And they will be with me today, shadowing me to find out just what goes on in the sheriff's office and in my day. Got here in court this morning. I thought this was an agenda that might bore them to tears, but I appreciate y'all moving it forward to where we can introduce them and see if we can get a picture with them up here. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Come on up.
I like your shirts and your badge.
Okay, it's okay. They're cuter, we know.
Oh, that's it. Awesome, girls.
Parents are coming.
Okay.
Morning, Cody.
Hey, Cody.
Good to see you.
Morning, how you doing? How you fine, Cody?
Probably got him jumping.
All right, girls, keep us safe. Do any department heads have anything else? Commissioners, no? All right. We will move on to item number 13.
I move to approve bids for road materials received in response to the fiscal year 2024 road materials invitation for bids.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Mr. Reed.
So this is our annual road materials. I actually haven't even looked at it. I've been out of town, so.
I think Lionel said you had
Good.
more than. I think Lionel told me that you had more. I think the previous time we put it out, we didn't
Right.
get as many bids as we'd like, and he had told me that you got more. And
Yeah, there were 9.
they weren't as cheap as we would hope for, but
Never
that's the
are.
way it is.
All right. Any other questions? Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0.
Like to make note, I doubled 13, just ignore it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 14.
On item number 14, I would like to propose tabling this request. And no, David has been out of town, but this issue has come up to the Stormwater and Floodplain Management Committee a couple of times where they were asking for this letter of support. Unfortunately, there was not a quorum at any of those meetings, so they could vote on it, and there are questions about it. And I would really like to have it go through Stormwater and Floodplain Management first.
Before we go further, Mr. Roof.
I think we ought to at least discuss it right here with
All right.
David before we do that, because like I say, since we're in the process of kind of changing the stormwater committee, appears that a lot of the members haven't been coming because they realize it might change, and I don't know that we'll get a quorum there anytime soon, so I think those that have been to the meetings have a general, can you tell us more about it?
Actually, before we go on, yeah, let's, and we do need a second. Do we have a second?
But if we if we move to table it, we could still have discussion, could we not?
I don't believe so. Once it's tabled, it's off the table.
You could, well, if there's a second, that opens it up for discussion.
I think so.
Right. Do I have a second? If not, it dies. I'll second it. We'll discuss it. All right. So I second that, but I want Mr. Hey, Ruff. Mr. Ruff, he's gonna address the court. Good morning, sir.
I'm sorry.
And your name and your address, please, for the record.
My name's Robert Ruff. I live at 153 Heron Oaks. I'm concerned about this ditch and where it's going to tie into. If the intent is it to tie into Thule Ditch, Thule Ditch is already at capacity. It's flooded several times since the time I've lived here. Combining that with the much needed expansion of the city's wastewater plant, which will increase the flow through Thule Creek. There's some nuances here. We've seen it go over Whistler's Cove Street, Heron Oaks. It's flooded the mobile home park on the end of Live Oak. And if the intent is to tie it into Thule ditch, we're at capacity already. It's not an every year thing. We may go 1 year, see it twice and not see it for 3 years. But if that's where this ditch is going to tie into, then that culvert that was just put on Pearl Street, the county needs to put a floodgate on that so it closes off and floods Memorial Park. If there's going to be development to that and the rain off, because just the two little developments that's already been there, the storage unit for RVs, and on the other side, there was some development that land's been compacted now. That's contribute to when we do get rain, the Thule ditch gets a lot fuller quicker than it did in the past. It's not very much land that's already been developed, but it adds to it. And we have several restrictions on Thule ditch before it gets into Thule Creek. So, you know, if you want to do a Forrest Gump situation on this, you take your your bathroom sink, turn it on all the way, then hook a hose up to your shower, put that in the same sink. You know, we just can't keep adding and adding and adding. And what that does is impact the RV park that's there and the subdivision known as Whistler's Cove. You're going to have a lot more flooding there that's already occurred. And that's my comments on that.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
So this is actually a separate issue than what's on the agenda. There is issues with Thule Creek. We've seen it over the banks. We are trying to get funding for a master drainage plan. That Thule would be high on my list of things that we look at and figure out how to deal with the creek that we have there now and how to make it bigger, wider, deeper, whatever we need to do, and still be able to drain new development in there. The natural flow of this area is in Thule Creek. I mean, that's where it goes. To put a door there and say you can't drain in here anymore is basically a taking of this property, and we would find ourselves in a court at some point. This agenda item is specifically to be able to acquire a drainage easement that has been identified on the City of Rockport's master drainage plan. There is this joint venture. The property is owned by multiple owners, and there is a initiative to try to consolidate this into something that's developable. And if that happens, they're going to need drainage, and they're asking that the county be able to provide drainage if they can provide the drainage easement, and get everybody that owns the property in this area to be on board with this. Truthfully, I don't know that the chances of this happening are great, you know, maybe 30%, but the idea of getting a drainage easement is a good thing. I mean, it's always hardest to get the drainage easement. After we have the easement, you know, we can figure out how to make this work without flooding people downstream or upstream.
I'm in favor of getting the drainage easement. I'm not necessarily in favor of the county paying for channeling that, which I understand is what this is about, is it not? I mean, if it's just that we would get the easement, then I'm in favor of this. But if the county is going to develop the channel to help the developer develop that into properties to sell, I don't know that's the county's business.
Well, I understand your point. You know, the cost to the county, it would be in equipment and labor, you know, not a hard money cost. And it doesn't just help this developer, it helps everything upstream that is part of that is in the county as well. Being able, and like I said, the chances of this happen, I think are pretty slim. But if we can get a drainage easement, if we can build a drainage facility that does help upstream from that in city and the county, I see it as a good thing.
When's your next stormwater meeting? Next month?
The first of next month, yeah.
Okay, we're not bound by like a timeline right now, are we?
No, all they're really asking for is the letter that would help him contact the other property owners and see that the county is on board with doing something and help him acquire the properties.
So this is just a letter. We're not doing a deal right now.
It says, authorize the county judge to sign a letter of support and commitment to excavate the channel for this project.
The letter of, and I think there was a draft of the letter, which says we'll
Right, the county agrees
Yeah.
to construct the drainage channel.
right. If all the pieces fall into place.
It'd say that the channel though is gonna benefit. It's not just benefit that subdivision, it's gonna benefit the whole area.
Correct.
I would say, yeah, of course, the motion on the floor is to table, take it to the committee again, see if you get their
Sure.
vote support and
Yeah.
unless this dies and yeah.
Yeah, and that's fine. We can take it back to the committee and Mr. Lipke could be here to explain it better himself. I didn't let him know until about 8 o'clock this morning. It was on the agenda.
All right. Well, the motion's on the floor to table. Are there any other questions? Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye. Pat, we're tabling it. Passes 4-0. Item number 15.
Oh.
I'm moved to discuss and reject change order number 13 from Teal Construction for the following changes. Reject CPR 84, which is reduced plaque size. This was approved at the February 29th, 2024 special meeting on change order number 14. Deduct to change the 5-foot diameter plaque to 3 feet diameter plaque. Deduct $4,345. Add 0 impact days. Reject CPR 86, add data and power in DC 210 and DC lobby 208. Add $18,019.10 and 5 impact days. Reject change order number 13, which was tabled on 2/29/2024.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Good morning.
Good morning.
So-
Like it says in the description, this was the one that was brought to court and then there was some confusion as to what was going on with it. So we went ahead and it got tabled. So this is just a matter of making sure that we reject it for our paperwork.
But we did go ahead and approve the plaque size
Yes.
change on a different,
On a different change order, we approved the plaque and that's moving forward.
all right. Okay.
All right. Anybody need anything else cleared up? Kind of. All right, cool. Let's vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 16.
I move to approve change order number 3 for the Aransas County Community Building and Plaza Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery General Land Office Contract Number 20-065-098-C270, adding 117 days to 16.7 weeks and $47,206.21 for additional general conditions per schedule of value. The contractor has experienced a loss of 117 days due to deliberation required for steel projection and delays in manufacturing and supply chain deliveries.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
So the funds for this will come out of the grant. It will not cost the county any additional money.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
The funds will come out of the grant. It will not cost the county any additional monies.
And
But it's still a problem. I mean, it's an additional 117 days
Correct.
for this. And looking through here, and I would congratulate Art Ramirez or whomever did this detailed timeline of the problems, where for over a month, he'd sent a request to PGAL and received no response from anyone. And there were numerous people that were copied on that email, so at some point in time, it might be nice to get a response from PGAL as to why that lapse of time went by.
So again, there are design issues. This is a result of some design issues.
Some design issues, yes. And PGA will be here on Wednesday during our owners' meetings
Okay.
to have a discussion.
We're talking about this today.
Mhm.
Are they online, Colin? Thank you.
Any other discussion? All right, let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dubnik,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 17.
Move to approve contract between rent. You ready?
Yeah, sorry.
Move to approve.
Oh, item number 17.
All right, move to approve a contract between Aransas County and BLS Construction Incorporated to build a transfer station mechanical shop at a fixed fee of $167,930 with the completion date no later than 80 calendar days after issuance of a notice to proceed.
Second. Second.
Got a motion and got a second.
Good morning. So I would like to introduce you to William Key. He is the president of BLS Construction, so he will be the one working on our project with us. Once all of our paperwork gets completed, in about a week or two, we'll do a pre-construction meeting, and then we'll be able to start moving forward with ordering the building, getting everything set up.
Good morning.
Morning, sir. Hey.
So what is the payment source for this project?
It's actually coming out of transfer station fees, the transfer station budget.
It was budgeted in our budget process this year.
Okay, I knew we had, but in looking at this contract, there are some questions. So on page 11, item 26 says federally funded contracts.
I don't have the contract in front of me now.
All right. Are there any federal funds being used to pay for this?
No.
No.
Okay. Thank you. Well, all right, I have a couple of other questions. Maybe somebody will know the answer. On page 8, talking about withholding payment, I'm just wondering, is that standard practice that we can withhold payment as deemed necessary to protect us? Do we put that in our contracts usually?
I believe what is being used is basically our
It's a standard
boilerplate standard contract. And yes, we can withhold funds if there's an issue. And normally we do withhold like a 5% retainage. Think of the word for the.
I can help with this.
Yes, sir.
100% of construction, I say 100%. 100% of our construction contracts are what called for retainage. That's withholding the payment. 5 or 10%, depending on the scale of the project, right? After the first bill is presented, based on the work that's done, a percentage is withheld by the county, whether that's 10 or 5%. I think this was 10. And that's pretty customary through the construction industry. And then when the project's completed, Commissioner, everything gets signed off, a punch list gets done, you're holding that 10%. Basically, it's a way for you to allow the contractor to finish the project. That's what it's done. That's the reason it's there for. So
Right.
it's standard.
I'm somewhat familiar with that. I just wondered if, because it talks about we can withhold any payment.
I wouldn't see where we would withhold the total payment, but we would have the 5%, or in this case, if it's 10%. But our normal ones are 5% that are held until completion.
Okay.
And that's our, if we had to come in and finish the job because the contractor didn't, then we would have funds besides
Well-
their bonds.
Sort of. A performance and payment bond is used as
Right.
an insurance.
Right.
In case that would ever happen. God forbid that's happened. We've worked with the county before with Mike and
Right. No, I'm
Mhm.
familiar with your company. You do good work.
But yeah, so the retainage is essentially there so that the project finishes.
Yes.
That's what it's there
Right.
for. That's
Kind of like a little insurance policy,
Yes.
and I hope we have one on PGAL.
Yes, ma'am.
And so the other question I had was, it cites an engineer. Who's the engineer on this project? Someone that's employed by your company or someone with whom you've contracted?
So we have contracted with Mr. Frederickson, and so he's gonna do our structural engineering for the project.
And who is that person?
Victor Frederickson,
Thank you.
So that'll be windstorm certified then.
he will do both. He will do the foundation design along with the windstorm certification. Absolutely. The pre-engineered metal building will come with the requirements for the windstorm, but then Victor will stamp it at the end of the day so that it gives you guys a WPI form so that you can go get insurance.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I wanted to thank Eric Smith for including this tally sheet on there too. And I asked that they would include that so we have all the full information about it. So thank you, Eric.
All right. Thank you.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 19.
Move to approve the purchase of a 2024 mower, Max Boom mower in the amount of $246,913.40 and authorize the county judge to execute necessary documents.
Second that?
Got a motion? Got a second? Mr. Reed. Unless Blake's here. I don't see him.
So this is for a boom mower with an extended reach. We have a lot of new drainage channels coming in that are bigger than our equipment is to mow. This money was going to come out of the drainage fund, right? Drainage fund budgeted.
Perfect. An expensive mower.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
But Commissioner Dubnik has offered to operate it for us.
I did look on YouTube because I saw the cost, but the machine, like David was saying, in our county with some of the drainage ditches we have that are so deep and reaching across them, everything, they'll be able to do a lot better job from with that piece of equipment.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks, Commissioner. Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo, Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 20.
Move to approve soliciting bids on buy board or another purchasing co-op for uniforms for road and bridge and environmental health.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second. Mr. Van Meter, good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Commissioners. It was just brought to my attention last week that our contract ran out. So we just like to open up for bid to refill the contract.
Well, if you use one of those buy boards, you really don't have to. Doesn't go out for bids, you just select them.
What's that again?
It said since it's on the buy board, you actually don't have to go out for
Okay.
bids because they've already done it for us. You can look on there and
Yes, sir.
And just order.
find the
Yep.
best deal.
All right, well, no questions. Let's go and vote.
All right.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Van Meter. Item number 21.
I move to approve the proposed project plan and budget for the Copano Cove Ranch acquisition project for funding contract number 24-099 -001-E379 through the Coastal Management Program Cycle 29 Gulf of Mexico Security Act, known as Go Mesa.
Got a motion and a second. Morning.
Good morning. This proposed project plan and budget is what we need in order to move forward with the GLO to get the contract underway. Just another bit of red tape for the project that's moving forward.
I have a couple of questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Ken? It was my understanding, and I guess I was incorrect in that we were the conduit for this grant, but Aransas First was going to own this property. But it's been explained to me that no, the county will take ownership of this property.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I'm concerned. I think it's a wonderful idea, but we talk about providing public access. We talk about the project tasks and the timeline for those tasks. And I didn't really see any tasks that were listed. And I've heard, well, it might become part of Aransas Pathways. And I'm curious if the Director of Public Facilities, who's over the Pathways program, has had input on this. I'm also curious, what is the county committing to in this? Because I'm very much in favor of parks. I'm in favor of trees. But this is a lot of property that will add significantly to our insurance and our maintenance. So can you give us some information about what sort of projects we're going to have here and what's going to be available for public access?
So for this particular step, we've scaled back any of the public access components in order to get the acquisition taken care of. But what we are looking at doing in conjunction with Aransas First is applying for grants in order to get a land management plan completed so that those public access components are properly planned out and whatever federal permitting would be needed for wetlands would be taken care of. We're not sure yet what the maintenance will look like because of the nature of the property. Since most of it is wetlands, a lot of it will benefit from a lack of maintenance. But for the public access components, that's where we want to have a planning document in place that has been thought through in order to make sure that any of the public access options are as low maintenance, as sustainable as possible. One of the other reasons why we remove those components at this stage is that we are hoping to work with a few other entities and agencies in order to look at the type of sustainable stormwater, like permeable pavers, different options that would take longer to design, but would hopefully have a budgetary impact that we can quantify and show to the taxpayers and the public. But we don't have that plan in place yet. This would be just to get the acquisition, and then we would have the planning process where we would work with Pathways. And right now, I do want to note that we do already do some maintenance on this property in order to access the drainage easement that Road and Bridge maintains out there. The maintenance for what's there now would not be much beyond just the mowing. But like I said, we want to make sure that that is planned out a little bit more thoroughly. And at that time, we'll have a more in-depth conversations about what that public access will look like and what maintenance will be required for it.
So the monthly progress reports and the request for reimbursement, what are we going to be reporting on a monthly basis and what are we going to be reimbursed for?
It is for the the cost of the property and for the like closing costs. We're going to have to do a survey. Excuse me. Oops. So the total funding being allocated at this point is $2,613,120. The estimated purchase price is $2,350,000. The reimbursable expenses that will have to be completed before the contract is executed and the purchase completed is we will need to get a Category 1A land survey completed, which we've already all these contracted expenses we've gotten estimates on and and the timeline should be indicated in the deliverables in the document. But we also need to get an appraisal completed. At the title, the closing costs altogether are estimated to be about $12,500 for the title insurance and the closing cost. And so those are all fees that would be reimbursed through this program.
But they're giving us until, I think, March of 2027.
Yes, ma'am. That's the,
Probably will move faster than that, will it not?
yes, ma'am. We do anticipate moving a lot faster than that. That's the 3 years. That is the normal scope time for the coastal management program for this type of project. But we do think it will be completed before then.
This is basically the award letter we had voted an extension from the court on, right? To give to extend the, I won't say the property agreement with the seller. We were looking for an award letter. This is it.
Yes, this was what we needed, why we asked for that extension on the option period so that we could get this completed, so that would, we would be able to get the confirmation from the GLO that said, yes, we are definitely moving forward with funding. So that's what this proposed project plan is.
Currently, we have drainage that goes through there and actually feeds wetlands that have been created by other people. I think some of the opportunity that presented to the county with this is we will have the ability to, and we currently, when we do ditches, we do environmental elements in there to clean the water before it gets to the bay. The things that I see over this, it gives us a place to take water off of Rattlesnake Point Road, off of 1781, and a lot of other surrounding areas, and go through there. And we could possibly, we put the drainage in, we create a wetlands area to cleanse the water and let it run through the grass and different things. So we have a lot of potential benefit for all the land surrounding that area, particularly Rattlesnake Point Road, because it kind of has restricted drainage. So we have possibility to take that and other stuff off of 1781 and really anything west of the bypass kind of goes that way. So other than the recreational aspects,
I'm very much in favor of the drainage and retention and the cleaning of the water before it runs off. So thank you for that. That I'm just concerned about what the extent of the public access is and the improvements. And I believe, and I could be incorrect on this too, but with these GLO grants, we pay, right? And then we submit a reimbursement request.
We are going to have to pay some of these initial fees, but for the bulk of the actual purchase, they do know that we are not they do know that we're not going to be able to have that reimbursed. They're going to have to forward those funds, the $2.3 million for the property won't have to be a reimbursed expense. They're going to work with us in financial aid on that.
Yes, ma'am. They're going to do an advance on it.
All right, it's good to hear. Thank you.
Appreciate the work you've done on this, and Shelley Steckler and also Janae Evans. This is really
And Maureen Crocker as well.
Maureen also,
Uh,
and this is really one large piece of property that we can preserve in the community. And I understand there's a lot of wildlife out there also that has been noticed. So appreciate y'all putting the time into this.
And maybe even get some blue carbon credits.
I didn't want to, go too much into it because I know so little about it, but we are talking to a group, a nonprofit, about trying to incorporate that into the property plan. And there's a lot of potential for some of the maintenance costs for us to be able to leverage this to not only show the benefit to quantify some of the harder to quantify aspects of it, but also to be able to show some definite hard numbers. That is our hope. So we'll be planning all that soon.
Thanks, Cap.
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 22.
Move to approve the Aransas County Indigent Healthcare Report for February 2024.
Second.
So any questions on it, I'll answer, but we are in the 6th month of the fiscal year, spending 234,600 of the 1.2 billion budgeted, so we're not getting anywhere near what's in the budget.
Not yet.
I was
Thank
glad
you.
to see that the prescription drug costs.
Yes,
have
we're working real
remained low,
hard on
So I think you're doing good work over there. It keeps them down,
Keeping
finding
it
some
down.
other suppliers.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Aye, passes 4-0. Item number 23.
I move to approve the budget amendments for the 2020, says 2023, should be 2024 budget, or is that
No, sir,
2023?
the
It is?
2023 budget.
Okay, I move to approve the budget amendments for the 2023 budget.
Second.
Got a motion, got a second.
I had a few questions that I visited with the auditor previously. Give her a heads up.
I appreciate that.
On the Waterway Restoration Fund, the additional amount of money that was being requested for that. Did you want to explain that a little?
Yes, ma'am. At the time that we did this budget, we did not anticipate any expenditures. Court did authorize payment to Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries to help with a match for study and engineering, as well as the testing and stuff that we did with the red beds, which totaled up to the $53,200. So we're actually just adding that expenditure so that we can show that we made those expenses.
And I'm thinking that the attorney fees are an increase because that's due to our ongoing litigation to try to get insurance to pay
Yes.
for the damage from Harvey.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And
And our insurance premiums. Oh,
Yeah, the changes that we made to general fund because what we budgeted to go into $3 million into fund balance. We ended up with these increased costs going $3.7 million into fund balance. So these are actually just to be able to recognize the decrease in fund balance. And so we've adjusted those budget amounts because of that. Basically the same thing with 2016. We had budgeted prior to go use some of the funds in that because we need to use those funds up. That's a bond issue of
is that the
CIPs.
capital improvements?
That's the capital improvements. With the additional equipment that we needed, computer equipment, software, hardware, stuff that we need for the new courthouse, we use those funds. So we just increased that.
By about 90,000.
Yes, ma'am, 98,000. Records management. These funds were not budgeted at the time that we did the 23 budget. 40,000 of it was the maintenance. It was a Tyler Tech. We had put that originally into a different fund. We moved it over into 450. Some other small like telephone and miscellaneous. And then the indexing, we had used $1 million for indexing out of the ARPA funds. Then they negotiated another contract that would use some other funds, and that's where this was. So we've increased that to show the indexing that was charged out of there, as well as the court reporter service fees. It was a small amount. With the increase in trials and stuff we've had a lot of additional requests for reports. And we normally had put these in the court reporter services until we reached the budgeted amount, and then we charged them out of general fund. But due to the issues with general fund or issues in the expenses out of general fund, this court reporter service fee had a very healthy fund balance. So we made the decision to just use that fund balance because that's the only thing that we can use it for. We're restricted to use it for that. So we just recognize the expenditures that we had out of that.
And that was
Those-
an additional 21,000.
Right at 22,000, yes, ma'am. I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you.
I would like to make a statement that $1 million that came out of ARPA is to restore my land and deed records. And that's one reason I'm fighting so hard about the fire suppression system, because of the cost.
All right. Let's go and vote.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, passes 4-0. Item number 24.
I move to approve the accounts payable and payroll/payroll liabilities.
I'll second that.
Got a motion, got a second.
The accounts payable and payroll are normal. I would like to recognize some of the additional ones out of our 430 fund that are normally paid with grants or reimbursed by grants. We have courthouse, PGAL, we paid $2,276.23. That's on the courthouse project.
Could you say that amount again, please, Jake?
$2,276.23. I will also note that we have paid, there's only one more payment through the contract, except for an additional amount of $100,000 that was added probably a year or two ago, that's only paid upon completion of the project. So their contract is almost paid.
But do we still have the retainage you talked about earlier?
I will have to check on that, Commissioner, after I said we normally have them. The contractors we do, I would have to double
Yes,
check
if
on
you
that
would,
one.
please. Thank you.
And that 100,000, I don't think he signed.
No,
There.
that's different.
Okay,
That's the 4,000 for the fiber optics.
Oh.
This 100,000 was done, well, I want to say almost 2 years ago, but it is only paid upon completion. We
Might
have,
even be longer than that.
it might have been, it's an addition to, it was an amendment to the contract. TRM, which is the engineering, they're doing our test and balance, engineering on the jail, on the detention center, trying to make sure that we get into correct pressure on that. It's $8,962.50. Mont McDonald, for the drainage projects, we paid a total of $70,457.70. Parkway Chevrolet was $65,000. This was for a Stone Garden vehicle that was reimbursed through the Stone Garden grant. Grant Connections is our Bay Shore Drive project, was $7,441.66. I also wanted to note that we paid Friends of the Fulton Mansion $32,000 out of the hotel motel funds. And Le Mardi Gras turned in their receipts. We budgeted $8,000 to help them with all their advertising and stuff. Receipts actual was $7,166.40. And that's all I have.
Thank you. All right.
Commissioner Casterline,
Aye.
Commissioner Russo,
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick,
Aye.
Judge Garza.
All right, passes 4-0. Yes, yes, ma'am. So we'll go ahead and take some more reports from commissioners, elected officials, and department heads. No action will be taken.
I just want to commend our new environmental health director. From time to time, we receive the reports from the auditor's office when they go into the different departments and conduct an audit. And anything that they know that could be corrected or perhaps done more efficiently, they send off to the department head for correction. Sometimes the department head actually takes steps, and I want to congratulate Anthony because even though he just recently had taken over the job, they'd done an audit that was, I believe, almost a 2-year audit. And it looks like you've taken steps to correct those. I hope they're followed through, but thank you for your prompt response.
Thank you. Anybody else? Commissioners? All right, we'll move on to reports about items of community interest. Anybody got anything of community interest? No, Al?
They
you
appear
good?
to have had a successful Oyster Fest.
Yeah, y'all make it Oyster Fest. I went Saturday. A long day. Yeah. All right. And Amanda's not here, so we're not gonna go to closed session, so I will
Move to
enter-
adjourn.
entertain a motion to adjourn. Got a motion, got a second?
Commissioner Casterline.
Aye.
Commissioner Russo.
Aye.
Commissioner Dupnick.
Aye.
Judge Garza.
Hi, we are adjourned. Thank you.
I'm gonna give these to